Here's Nancy with Keaton Simons.
Hi, I'm Nancy Chris, and we are coming to you from the beautiful Martini Ranch in Scottsdale, Arizona. And with me, I have the multi-talented singer, songwriter, guitarist, Keaton Simons. So,
hello.
hi.
How are you, sweetie?
Good. So what keeps you coming back to Arizona?
Arizona's always been really good to me. A few years ago, I actually had a #1 song at a radio station in Tucson.
My love is a storm. She doesn't wait for me. And now that she's gone, I fear that she'll never be.
Keaton's got a new debut album out, Can You Hear Me, with CBS Records. So tell me about it. How's it doing?
It's doing great. We're we're really on kind of the long-term big picture path with it, and finally I'm in a place where I trust that process, and I'm not impatient and edgy about the whole thing. I just want it to be out there and have a life of its own. Stay on the road to promote it. Made a record a few years ago, like right when Currently went to #1 in Tucson. That was on an EP that I released. But I made a full-length record, and it never came out. And then it got the label that I was with kind of collapsed, and they wouldn't give me the record back, and I had to wait to even re-record the songs. And it was like all my songs were tied up in there. So I was just dying to be heard. I was dying to have an entire album out. And so it took a few years before I was legally allowed to record those songs again for another album. So it's like kind of the feeling of this is like, all right, here I am now. Can you hear me?
How do you like being a solo artist compared to like being in a band? Does it have its ups and downs?
For me, it really is just all positive. I mean, I have musicians who play with me. I play with a band a lot of the time, but I really prefer being a solo artist because then I'm just, I'm in charge of my own destiny.
Tell us.
Yes.
It's an OTR exclusive.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
So I want to know something that you haven't told anybody else in all your interviews.
I don't know. That's the hardest question.
See, I knew you were going to come back and say that.
I know.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's hard.
That's a tough one.
I know, it's a really tough one. I mean, I always try to come up with a little something new, a unique perspective, because for me, interviews are a great way for me to kind of learn about myself. Asking these questions, these aren't just kind of trivial, tedious questions if you take them seriously, because the whole point of an interview is you guys are saying, who are you? And I have to ask myself every time I do one, like, who am I really? Like, how, who am I really? How do I want to be portrayed? How do I see myself? How do I want other people to see me? All of that comes into play. My goal, ideally, is to be kind of as much myself, my kind of truest, natural self, and work on being comfortable with the idea that not everybody's going to like that. Part of that type of exposure, so much of it is personal, and my general approach to everything is one of kind of openness and acceptance, and so it's something that I really don't want to fight against. I'm not trying to hide who I really am. I'm trying to expose it as much as possible and find the strongest way to survive that way.
Check out KeatonSimons.com for his latest album, Can You Hear Me, from CBS Records, or you can also go to cbsrecords.com and check it out.
Or, of course, MySpace.
Yeah, you got to join him as a friend on
Facebook,
MySpace.
you can go to.
Facebook.
You
Where
can
else?
get the album on iTunes
There you go.
if you want
America's
that.
#1 favorite place to go.
America's #1 favorite place to go.
iTunes.
And on Amazon and in stores and stuff like that. It's really cool. I got my albums in stores.
Are you?
Enjoying that. I love that.
Okay, I'm going to run out and get it tomorrow.
Yeah, go
There
get
you
it.
go.
Well, you have it right
So,
now.
I know.
But
So
go ahead and also
I got
get
the
it.
inside, so I got to
Exactly.
scoop on it right now. Well, Keaton, thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And also, I want to
Anytime.
mention, make sure you check out his website for tour dates. This
Yeah.
guy is in a different city every night, so he's bound to be where you are.